Welcome to this episode of NaturaLawn of America Franchise Spotlight. I'm your host, Blaine Young, Vice President of Franchise and Business Development. Joining me is the one and only Roy Good, the owner of the Frederick and Washington Counties franchise in the state of Maryland. Roy, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful today, Blaine. Thank you.
And I know you're gearing up for a home show and a big season, but, first tell those that are tuning in, how did you find out about this industry in terms of the lawn care, flea, tick, mosquito? Were you in the industry? What's your story?
I went to a tech school in Ohio for landscaping, gardening, and turf, and moved down to Atlanta, Georgia, and fell in with NaturaLawn, who had, back in the day, they were the only one in town, and spent 7 years with them. And then got away from that business and started my own company in the industry.
And then you ended up in Frederick, Maryland. And how'd you hear about NaturaLawn of America? What was the connection?
The connection for me is Phil Catron. Phil and Beecher Smith, they brought me up out of Atlanta into this area to help with the NaturaLawn system.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both my regional manager and agronomist. So I had a lot of respect for both those fellows. I was young, little or no education other than an associate's degree, and I'm running $1 million business. I had Phil and Beecher right there by my side.
Yeah. So when you when you worked for the previous lawn care company you talked about, did you ever see yourself being a business owner? Was that your goal?
It was not my goal. At the time, again, I was learning so much about business through the lawn care system, where you had a route, you had your customers, you were responsible for your vehicle, your total self. So for me, I was in love with the job itself as a technician.
So, but you also told me, I remember us talking in past discussions, that at your previous company, they basically told you without a college degree, you weren't going to elevate. And you were like, well, I'll show you, I'm going into business.
That's exactly what happened.
So, you were told no college degree, you're not going to advance. And then you said, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. You told me about how you heard about NaturaLawn of America, but talk about the systems and processes, the exclusive blends of fertilizer. How's the support been? You've been a NaturaLawn franchise for how long now?
35 years.
35 years.
And really it was, again, being in business by yourself is a bit different than having a company surround you with about a large talent pool for support.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil and Beecher had started NaturaLawn, and I went in to talk to them because at the time, that's when Montgomery County, Maryland was going through the posting flags, and there was an upheaval about the industry in itself. And after speaking with Phil, he had the answer. A softer, better approach.
A pet-friendly family approach.
Completely.
Yeah. So if you could turn back the clock, what advice would you give yourself if you could turn that clock back to that Roy Good of 35 years ago? Is there anything that you would tell him?
I should have, at the time I had another business that I was trying to develop as well.
Mm-hmm.
And really at that time, I really should have focused on the NaturaLawn of America systems and put all my energy there.
Mm-hmm.
It would have saved me some sleepless nights.
So focus. You had it there. Just focus on it, work it, grow it, give them 2 scoops.
And be steady.
Yeah.
Yep, be steady.
What advice would you give to someone that's looking at the NaturaLawn of America franchise offering, that may want to be a franchisee and be part of our franchise family?
Find a good territory and apply yourself. Have some money have some money
Yeah.
to carry you through, but
Have the proper financing.
have the proper financing, and the systems are there.
Yep.
The systems are in place. It's just up to us to put them in motion.
35 years later, what are you, 70?
72.
72 years of age. You still get up with that Natural Lawn of America passion, and do you still have that hunger?
Yeah, baby. Every spring, every year, again, for me, it's been a great life because I'm outside every day.
Yeah.
My truck is my office. Again, when I look back, I could have been one of the corporate boys, or I could just be Roy. And I'm happy I did what I did.
All right. Well, congratulations. And I want to thank you, Roy Good, the owner of the Frederick, Maryland, Washington County, Maryland franchise, for joining Natural Lawn of America franchise spotlight. We wish you nothing but the best, Roy.
Thank you, baby. Have a great week.
Take care.